Welcome back to Persona 5 Strikers, where, from comparing their two discs side by side, I just found out that this game has the same German age rating as Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, even though this game has Mara in it. Admittedly, Mara is kind of, I believe it's locked behind post-game, so maybe the German ratings board didn't know, but they both seem to have a 12 rating in Germany, which, like, other than Mara, I do feel like Strikers is, like, a little more tame in terms of content than base P5 was, and even P3. Oh, well, I mean, there's some... we'll be getting to some of that stuff, though, in this jail, actually. There's still some pretty dark stuff. Anyway... Still, it's too long. Let's warp straight to the tower. Today, we are going to be tackling the start of Konoe's jail.
Yes. What are you going to do?
It's time to show everyone that this superhero is actually a supervillain.
So this is our entry point this time. If his keyword is indeed the name of a superhero, one can only wonder what its jail will look like.
Maybe it's part of a massive cinematic universe. That would be, well, I mean, granted, the metaverse is kind of like the human mind cinematic universe, so... okay, that went places.
Ain't gonna be pretty, that's for sure.
We're going in. Is everyone ready?
Yes, let's go! We're gonna settle this thing once and for all.
This is for everyone, even those who got turned into monarchs.
Konoe's gonna pay big time for toying with people's hearts like that.
So some of the people in the comments have pointed out is that Emma just told Konoe that somebody close to the Phantom Thieves would be made into a monarch. He didn't know that it was Akane. So he didn't really know that he was using a child in his schemes, but even then, he knew he was using someone.
Beginning the operation. Entering the keyword into Emma now. The keyword is... Superman.
Very high-tech.
Yeah, figures it'd be another crazy one.
See that?
I'd say we just found Konoe's castle. We're almost there. Only one job left to bring the villain to justice.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And notice how he's the one who said team and gave the mission briefing? Yeah, that furthers my headcanon of Zenkichi being the real protagonist of Strikers. Oh, I think actually we just got hit by auto-leveling. I don't think everyone was at 37 before, so I guess I may have been under-leveled before. But okay, I kind of still want Zenkichi even though he is over-leveled. I am going to be needing Ryuji soon. He's actually quite useful here. I believe Nuke might be useful going forward as well, so I'll take Makoto. Also, welcome back to Welcome to the Jail. After 2 whole jails that didn't play it, it's great listening to this, but...
Well, the infiltration went well at least.
Stay sharp, everybody. This could potentially be the mastermind behind everything that we've faced thus far. Security's bound to be tight.
Great. We should expect that Konoe knows how jails work too.
I assume that's Konoe's castle. If so, we have our destination.
Time to get moving. Show me how it's done, please.
All right.
Hang on a sec. Stop!
What is it, Oracle?
Check it out.
The hell is that? A machine gun?
And it's topped with a security camera, too. It'll probably open fire if you get too close.
So it's the same setup we saw in Shibuya. The castle's beyond here. So we're gonna have to do something about this thing first.
If I had to guess, I'd say there's a core somewhere around here that's powering it. I saw something that looked like a prison keep up top. If this is business as usual, it's probably there.
Guess that's our first stop. Let's get going.
Prison keep. Well, Guess I'll know once I get there.
Well, I mean, this is Enkichi's first time experiencing those. However, did you just hear that? Did you just hear that? This is Welcome to the Jail, another version. Another one of my favorite unexpected surprises, that's redundant, but anyway, of Persona 5 Strikers. Holy crap, does that hit hard. So, you're like, okay, we haven't heard Welcome to the Jail in, 2 dungeons, so, it's nice to hear that song again, right? But actually, they give you one loop of the original, and then it launches right into a new segment that has never played before. It's a new version of the song, and it's just so,
Greetings, good citizens. Have you seen any evildoers nearby?
Oh no.
If you do see any, please report it immediately. Our hero will then come to change their hearts.
The definition of evildoers is anybody who is not Konoe.
Akira is our one true hero. He is the only one who can save the world. Akira will keep everyone safe with the power to change hearts. He will protect our way of life.
Oh, by the way, the phrase protect our way of life, that's always a red flag.
Kira? You must be referring to Konoe. I guess he's a superhero in this world.
So this is how he views himself. Ironic that the villain is playing the hero.
Keeping everyone safe with the power to change hearts. What does it mean by that? And this voice, is that Emma?
Phony hero parading himself around in a futuristic city. And some major dystopia vibes from this one.
It feels a bit Minority Report to me, personally.
So does that mean we're the villains? What a load of crap.
I mean, I kinda have to.
That's a good point. If we're going to oppose the hero, then Super Phantom Thieves works great.
He wants to treat us like the bad guys? Fine. We're still gonna bring him down.
I like how Haru sucks so much at giving names that even her villain name sounds like a hero name.
We'll show him who the real villain is.
So, we've got these things, and they're not quite marked on the map yet, but that'll change when we do this.
Over here.
Yeah, from here on now, we get to see where all the guns are. So we're actually funneled in a very specific direction at this point. But yeah, a futuristic city where Emma and Medivh control everything. That's not a red flag at all. But we have, oh right, you guys. You are weak to winds. I remember you guys. So there's just something about this, about fighting these Nagas. It is just so fun watching them flop all over the place when you hit large numbers of Nagas at once. It's just really cool. But okay, well, I may want to put Morgana in. In fact, I just realized, let me open the menu, please. Thank you. I just realized that actually maybe it's not time for Ryujin and Makoto. I think it's actually time for Morgana and Arn. Hang on, somebody learn new skills. Okay, you got Magarala. Oh, actually, while I'm here, people point out to me, high chance of fear to an area of foes, high chance of fear to a white. It's high for both of them, okay. Yeah, I thought it was like Persona 5 Royal, where the weaker versions are actually a higher chance.
Keep it up.
Take this!
Yeah, if I ever did my Persona 5 the musical idea with like lyrics, then like this I always thought that this song would be called Back in Business, because it's about how the Phantom Thieves are back in business, but this would be the reprise, and it would be both the Phantom Thieves and Akira sort of singing it. It would be one of those like sort of songs that are like the hero and the villain sort of kind of going about the same point.
That was over before it started. I should have.
Oh, we're gonna be able to blow up a van here? That's gonna be fun. There is only room for one van on this road trip. Now, yeah, so Valkyries right here. They are... Now, this is interesting. I believe that Valkyries were not weak to fire in vanilla Persona 5. They're only weak to fire in Royal. So here's another instance of Strikers taking after Royal more than the original. Which is pretty cool, honestly. I will always take more taking after Royal. Royal's only fault to me was being a bit too easy. Well, more than a bit too easy, but still. It's fun, though.
I'd say we performed quite admirably.
Okay, you know what? I kind of want to give that to Wolf, just because, well, he's done really well so far. Let's It's like I'm doing a who's a good dog thing. Although his agility is not great, but still. I just kind of wanted to... I almost said give him a treat. That just reminds me, I know I've probably said this before, but in Final Fantasy 13 2...
Those who refuse to do as they're told will be eliminated without exception. I imagine that's Konoe's goal here.
Why would he go so far? He's nothing like the Phantom Thieves.
But yeah, I was saying, so Final Fantasy 13 2. So, in that game, like, one of the lines that Noelle says when, like, a monster ally does well in a battle is, "You deserve a treat." But the problem is, you can actually unlock some human characters as quote-unquote monsters, like Lightning and, like, the commander from the original Final Fantasy 13, and Noel will still say that to them, which is, yeah, patronizing at best, disturbing at worst.
Oh, look! I got a new skill!
Okay, now you have a new skill. I probably don't need that. Alright, let's see. So we can head straight... Okay, so through here, there isn't really going to be a whole lot for us to do. We sort of need to head through the back streets. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the... back... Is taking the back streets... Is that the lyric from, All-Star? But anyway, we've got... okay, it's Nagas again. Speaking of Royal, we have the Royal Battle theme playing. But yeah, so, like, Konoe is kind of interesting because, I'll talk more about my thoughts on him a bit later because I feel like Konoe goes about what he's doing. It reminds me a lot of, like, the...
Is that it? Huh, that was fast.
There's a saying in computer science that it's impossible to create a flawless antivirus program that is not itself a virus. And I feel like Konoe is going about fixing society in that way. That it's like, oh yeah, I'll just eliminate everyone who doesn't do what I want. It's kind of similar to the, I haven't even seen this episode, but like the Justice Lords from Batman, and what's it called, the Justice League cartoon. And it's like, yeah, technically we've created a crime-free society, but we've done it by eliminating basically everyone. And that's, I feel like that's the theory. Like, a theoretical perfect antivirus program would just delete everything. And then that's just a virus. It's a program that deletes everything on your computer. Now, this thing right here, that massive face is in a giant crawler tank. It's literally just called a crawler. I hate these things. These things are not only a brutal nightmare to fight, because they have missile salvos, they do a lot of damage, they have ranged attacks, they're pretty powerful, as you can see, they've got quite a lot of health. But also, they are an absolute pain to deal with in a Thief's Challenge battles. Not battles. In a Thief... Okay, also this aerial counter right there, that's also a pain. But in a Thief's Challenge missions, they are a huge pain to deal with because, let's just say crawlers can show up on the field as, like, enemies, and they are very, very, very good at detecting you, like, at hitting you before you can ambush them. If a crawler sees you, you have, like, less than a second to hit the attack button before they get the jump on you, literally. So yeah, they're Akira's new security measure, and they're a pain. You will learn to fear them.
I see a shadow. Keep your guard up.
But not quite yet. It's a very late, a Thief's Challenge mission. But it is one that I do remember quite distinctly because it gave me a lot of trouble. Crawlers are very much a thing of pain. Why would snakes be carrying a belled collar? I mean, I guess they could be somebody's pet snakes, maybe.
Here's hoping the next one's just as easy. Let's go.
So this is what cities might look like in the future. Place is so rigid and orderly, it's giving me the creeps.
I don't like it either. Not to mention, there's not one sweet old lady in sight.
Gotta say, I agree too. I prefer cities with actual people in them.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just because this, you know, strikers, they couldn't really afford to render cognitions of people because that would just kind of bog down the engine. But maybe it's because Akira thinks that everyone would just be in curfew at this point. And also the sweet old ladies. Well, my guess is that all the sweet old ladies have been forced into Akira's totally not brainwashing / re-education nursing homes. Yeah. Let's not think too hard about the implications of that, but,
Handle it?
They don't know we're here. Let's take him.
What could that crouching man statue be in front of me? In fact, some people in the comments also mentioned like something about like where do Zenkichi's guns come from? I personally think that like they're manifested from awakened power. You can't really see the descriptions because you can't buy new guns in Strikers, so everyone, like you can't even look at the descriptions of everyone's guns. But I like to think that his guns were manifested from awakened power, just like most people's default weapons if they awaken in the palace in the original Persona 5. And that would explain where his sword came from too. Because like otherwise, how the heck would you explain the sword? Like, how did Zenkichi get a giant sword? And why is he affected by fear right now? But yeah, another thing about Zenkichi on that subject, I didn't really get a chance to talk about it at the time because I had other sort of more pressing issues. But like, something that I love about Zenkichi's awakening, if you're like Royal, you resist or null guns, don't you? No, actually no you don't. I think it's actually the opposite. So I do remember using downshot on them, but that was in the original when they had no weaknesses. But anyway, back to Zenkichi.
Ooh, a new skill! Leave the support to me!
That's how it's supposed to be.
Zenkichi's shadow was like really laying into him for failing his sense of justice and sort of, and not protecting that secretary and their family. His shadow was right on the cusp of going berserk, Persona 4 style. Zenkichi had the opportunity to say, "You're not me," and instead he accepted the shadow's criticisms of himself and vowed to be better.
We've arrived at Juoji Zoo. Would the prison keep be somewhere in Mount Chashiro then?
Mount Chashiro it is then. Let's go, everyone.
So not only did he awaken to his persona, but he also tamed it right as it was, again, on the cusp of going berserk. Which takes enormous amounts of fortitude, considering that none of the Persona 4 characters were able to do that. Okay, I think now I want Ryuji and Makoto. There will still be Nagas going forward, though. And very thankfully, we still have this music here. Oh, actually, no, I need Haru. Good thing I noticed that. Because...
Something's not right. Wait, Ice. You must be villains.
No, real villains are the ones who go around announcing to people, "I'm definitely not a villain."
Say what? If anyone's a villain here, it's you, pal.
Enough talk. In the name of our hero, Akira, I will execute you here and now.
Yes, executing people without trial, totally a heroic thing to do.
Whoa, Zowie!
Here it comes. Take it out!
So, I may have wanted to do that joke ever since I started playing Super Mario Wonder at the same time I was doing a practice run of this game. Yeah, that is where Haru is in a lot of danger, though. Because Haru, she does not like getting hit by that really big nuke attack, obviously. Okay, Vajra Blast, get away from Mr. Big Elephant. Oh, wow, nice. I mean, Ryuji's evasion is not that terrible, so auto-evade is still definitely a possibility with him. Well, the way he says unicorn is admittedly pretty cool. Oh, we have Matsuru Kaja on a Persona now, which is, and just noticed that stab a little bit too late. Oh, you're weak to Curse as well. You got a lot of weaknesses. You could say it has multiple weaknesses. I don't think, can I cancel that charge? Nope, he got it off. But I don't think, Fuka ever says that in, Persona 3 the remake, which is kind of unfortunate because, I love that line so much. It's like my equivalent of Akihiko's, I've been waiting for this. I like how you can see him slowly pull that sword back. But yeah, to me, it's my equivalent of Akihiko's I've been waiting for this. I don't know why. I think it's the song. It's the song somebody made out of Fuka's lines. Oh, you still have the shovel. I believe it's not actually immune to physical. I think that might be a mistranslation. Okay. But yeah, like I don't know. It's probably the song that they made out of the Fuka the Fuka thing. But Fuka's lines in the original, that is. But yeah, it has multiple weaknesses. It's not immune to physical, so I guess I can attempt to Rageify it. Uh-oh. It just reminds me of, like, people say that Rageaholic shouldn't be a real term, because that would imply that you're addicted to a substance called Rageahol. Yeah, I'll take a swap over. Get that away from... Nope, yep, Haru just exploded. Hello, Vajra Blast. Oh, hey, showtime. Maybe we can finally see the skull part of this. It's not gonna get Mike Wazowski this time. Well, I mean, the Ganesha was kind of blocking it, but still. It's a skull-shaped explosion, take my word for it. A mini-boss that resists physical in a sort of Warriors spin-off is admittedly quite dangerous. I think it's just barely still alive. Oh, hey, Rebel Yell. Funnily enough, that's actually the name of Lash and Hawk's tank power in Advance Wars Dual Strike. But extends the active time of toughness and increases the chance of reducing damage. Okay. I much prefer, like, the long charge thing, but there we go. I'm very surprised that took 2 shotgun shots.
Okay.
You know what? Can I get rid of that Bicorn right now? I do not want you anymore. Thankfully, you still get Persona points for dismissing something, even if you're not in the Velvet Room. Now, we aren't going to see any more Ganesha for a while, so we're going to instead swap Haru into the party. And so, yeah, both our paths forward are blocked, so we should get whacked by you. I was about to call these Naga Snake Men, and then I realized that, like, my, I think it's in the, like, one of the Mega Man Anniversary techno albums, but, the Snake Man official techno remix is one of my favorite songs from that album. Definitely look it up if you haven't. Like, those albums are pretty good in general. But I generally prefer the rock remix album, but the techno one has some good ones, and Snake Man is definitely one of them. Like, some Mega Man songs work better as techno. Although, in general, Snake Man is just a very good song in Mega Man. Your desires are in good hands. Please willingly relinquish them to us and let AI control your mind forever.
Break them into pieces.
Yeah, Zangichi hasn't even said my favorite post-battle line of his. I know it will happen one day, but I have to hear it because it's just so good. I don't know if it's only for, like, really weak enemies. Okay, these aren't actually, nuclear explosions.
Someone looks happy. Was that not a challenge?
Okay, yeah, that's not quite it.
Up the pace, shall we?
Oh, right, that's what that made me think of. I was like, what is pace making? I was like, oh, right, time for a change of pace! It's a universal constant that every Eggman boss fight has to have a memeable repeating quote.
I see another page. Is that an exhibit too?
And this is where things get interesting and also very creepy. You'll see once I reach this checkpoint.
Now then.
I mean, in general, the idea of a zoo and its dystopia usually means bad things, but we're about to see exactly what bad things this zoo is referring to.
Are these the people who were made into monarchs? This was all just some big show to him?
In reality, he likely saw them as a means to an end. They weren't much more than that.
And now they're put in a zoo, or at least their holograms are, for everyone to gawk at.
So this dickhead uses these people for all they're worth, and this is how he treats them? What an asshole!
So, there's a lot of speculation as to, like, why he went for these people specifically. I feel like Alice was probably some kind of, like, I mean, she was literally an influencer, so she had a lot of, like, public influence, and as did Natsume as well. And then Hyodo was a politician. It's very likely that, oh, by the way, there's a crawler on the field. It's very likely that, like, she and Konoe could have met at some point. There are other reasons why he chose those people specifically, but that will be revealed in due time. Yeah, whenever I see, like, the mini-boss icon of this guy as Cavern Snake Man, I see it as Craven Snake Man, as in cowardly. Wait, somebody's got a show. Oh, nice, Wolf has a showtime. Let's go.
Give up already.
Yeah, this might be probably in my top 2 showtimes. It's just really
I
cool.
never miss my.
But it's the twirling and the smoke blowing that really seals it for me. What I was saying is, do we have any forget cures? Okay, mental floss, yeah. But yeah, when he says I never miss, it just reminds me of, this is a weird thing to be remembering, but from Tales of Exilia, one of the joint victory lines, I think it's Rowan and Alvin, the old man and the, Alvin's definitely a thing, but he's voiced by Matthew Mercer, so I'll just call him Matthew Mercer. It was around the same time as Crom, actually. But yeah, so, they have a line where we say, not we, that is, well, gone. This is why we don't always have time for tangents here. Could you let me switch to Morgana, thank you. Also, why have I not used this? Apparently this actually breaks a Thief's Challenge missions as well, the van, because it doesn't actually increment security if enemies hit you while you're in the monomobile mode. But yeah, so the line that Rowan and Alvin have is, we never miss our targets, especially the ladies. And let's just say that line gets a lot harsher, eventually. Let's just say Alvin may or may not shoot somebody in tragic circumstances who is a lady. And also, both of them have trouble with love interests, yeah. So, that's a thing. Alvin actually does... Oh, no, get away. Alvin does actually have a pretty cool character arc in the sequel to Exilia, which, it's okay in some respects, but also not so much, and also, okay, who wants to showtime? I haven't really shown a blessed showtime, almost said light. Judge the Mitra! Be like Akira. And there we go. Vague file list. Uh-oh. Hey, that's not fair. You get rushing me right after a mini-boss. Well, you can at least drop these transport drones on people's heads, but, oh, I actually have fire on Mitra, of all things. I feel like I haven't really played as Joker all that much. That might actually be, like, a personal act of rebellion against speedruns, because, like, I know that he is kind of objectively the best party member, especially if you fuse really good personas, but I just... yeah, I find it a little boring that speedruns pretty much exclusively use Joker. But that's just basically how they work. Oh, hey, Ganesha is back. Forgot Ganesha showed up again so soon. But yeah, like, speedruns of Strikers, I often like to watch speedruns before I do a playthrough of a game on YouTube, just to get an idea of, like, what the quote-unquote optimal tactics are. And for, at least for New Game Plus speedruns, the optimal tactics are, like, the strongest persona with, technical, wow, I can flew all the way up in the air and didn't die. Technical, like, dizzy boost, ailment boost, and technical adept and almighty attacks.
Let's keep moving ahead, shall we?
That shadow seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Too much stamina.
I may need to withdraw Morgana right now. Oh, especially since he's a little over-leveled. I wanted to bring Yusuke back in, but Yusuke's still a little bit, oh hey, someone's learned more skills. Yusuke's not exactly, oh, taunt. You know what, sometimes I like to get rid of, like, I really only need one ice skill on him, so let's go, taunt.
On fumes.
Get it!
Give it to me.
But yeah, as I said, you can ambush crawlers. It is very difficult to actually do so. Yeah, it wasn't able to get behind it. They're deceptively fast for being giant bundles of legs. I thought I was Zenkichi. Nope. Okay, good, we got an auto evade there. Yeah, I like that all of, like, Yusuke's, somebody needs to swap over. I like how all of Yusuke's, all of his, like, dramatic sword sheaths can be, like, the animations can be skipped. I feel like Nagas were weak to ice in the original Persona 5. I could be thinking wrong, though. I know that- oh no, that's Lamia. That's Lamia. I knew that something in Futaba's palace was, still love the way he says unicorn, was weak to Yusuke. Smear him, okay. Can I still charge? Oh, it's dead anyway. And everyone levels up.
Still got it.
They really want you to be high level in this place.
That's one less obstacle in the way.
Because, like, being, like, high 30s this late in the game is admittedly a little bit weird. Also, this spinning elephant hologram, that just reminds me of something, like a really sad conversation that I had with my dad at one point after he saw the...
Let's go.
I have to say, the city seems almost void of life. Is this really the society Konoe's hoping to create? It's unsettling.
Yours.
But in a different way from the research lab in Okinawa. If we get captured, there's a good chance we'll end up in one of those cages. Be careful, Miyagane. I'm not gonna get caught, and stop calling me that!
Yeah, it's relevant to those holograms as well, because, like, and the sadness was not because he watched that movie, although it was probably part of the sadness, but it was actually of the idea that, like, the CGI animals in that film, like, the realistic, for lack of a better word, CGI animals in that film, like, my dad was saying that, like, will there be a time when animals all just go extinct and we just have to make do with CGI zoos to see, like, what those animals used to look like? Like, on the one hand, it might be nice for trying to recreate, you know, extinct species, but on the other hand, we really should not get to that point. And I feel like Akira's dungeon is like society regressed at that point.
They had their heads up their asses. What else can I say?
There's the line! Yeah, that's the line. That's the one that I wanted to hear. That is just, like, that is one of my favorite post-battle quotes. Even, it's up there with Shinjiro's adios asshole. Like, it's up there with that line. It's just like... Funny, they both involve that particular part of the body, the posterior. But yeah, like, first time I played Strikers, I was not expecting Zenkichi to say something like that. I was like, wow, okay. And the fact that he just says it so nonchalantly too, it's just like, I love Zenkichi. It's really, like, people have asked me before, Zenkichi or Toshiro from Persona 5 Tactica. They're both good. I was like, you can probably tell that, like, I was worried about Toshiro because of how good Zenkichi was. Like, being an adult who would inevitably become a Persona user at some point, and I was kind of worried, and, like, you know, authority figure, ultimate protagonist. I was really hoping that he would not end up too similar to Zenkichi. But he didn't. Yeah, he was not like Zenkichi at all, and I appreciated that. I still think overall I like Zenkichi more, though.
Okay, let's move.
Huh? Heck is that?
That shadow might pose a problem.
Will it? Will it? Let's see. It's Valkyries. However, I believe... Oh, they're not even resistant to physical. I can just mega to them while they're on this menu. Yeah, a lot of people have expressed that they like Zenkichi's moveset. The main problem that I have with it is that, like, the lack of elemental affinities means that, like, you can't exactly hit enemy weaknesses besides guns, but then anyone can hit gun weaknesses. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just feels kind of boring when you can't hit weaknesses. Oh boy, there's, auspicious pachyderms again. I guess I have Swift Strike Technical. Which is still a multi-hitting attack. It's not quite as busted as it was in vanilla Persona 5, where they probably just overspec its damage, really. Just like the Contrarian King's Rampage in Persona 4, where it's like, oh hey, yeah, let's just add a bunch of extra zeros to this skill's power level. Yeah, so it's like a wide-range shotgun burst for Ryuji's charge.
Nice work, ladies and gents.
Alright, on to the next.
I'm not seeing any shadows at the moment.
You know, I wonder if that golden statue, cat statue, is like a warning left to Morgana. But okay, I believe inside here there may be oh, it's a hacking battle. Yeah, it's a hacking battle. Okay then, so, judging by stuff... think I still want Ryuji. I probably want Arn and Morgana just because they've got the weaknesses of basically everything at this point. And is there anything good we can get out of this? Okay, that's maxed out now. Man, I haven't even got any levels of Treasure Hunter. And we've never even seen any treasure demons outside the tutorial. I don't really find them that important in this game.
It looks like it's Oracle's turn.
Roger, it's hacking time. Everyone ready?
So this is a very cramped space for hacking.
Hacking in. Make sure you back me up.
So, let's go. Now, with this, I probably have time to talk about something regarding, Oh, right, you're on Futaba. Maybe I don't. Oh boy, there's a Ganesha on Futaba right now. That's really bad. Yeah. About, something about Akane. They didn't really get a chance to go into in the dungeon itself, because I, well, again, had more pressing issues to talk about. Hey, let's showtime here. Oh, we got, like, we wait so long for a Ryuji showtime and then two come along at once. So, Akane. The thing about Akane is I really do like what her character ended up being. I do think it's really cool how it relates to Zenkichi, and how, like, she has all those issues with her father, and, like, she has that thing about how she cares about that secretary's family. Like, that is also really cool. It shows, like, a really empathetic side to her that you might not expect, given that she was just mostly teenage angst before. But the thing was, so, from early info, and by early info I mean Persona 5 Strikers had entries on TV tropes before it officially came out in English. And the thing about those entries is, that's where I got my bad first impression of the game. I looked at those entries by people who probably didn't speak much Japanese, and they were just like, oh, the game is really just a rehash of the original Persona 5. Like, Akira's basically just Shido. And like, oh yeah, and all of that kind of thing, and how it's like, it's just a rehash as if it's an action RPG. And like, they wouldn't have really had all that nuance of the fact that it's like, the jail monarchs are very subtly different to the palace rulers. They might superficially represent the same sins, but how they represent them is very, very different. But even that aside, the TV tropes heavily misunderstood, Akane's motivation. According to TV tropes, they originally thought that Akane was like, a more overt jab at the Persona 5 fanbase. That she was meant to represent a Persona 5 fan who missed the point. And that she developed a kind of, like, black and white insanity, to quote TV tropes, believing that all authority figures were inherently evil and all rebels were inherently good. And because of that, she turned on the Phantom Thieves because they were supporting her father. And yeah, so in a way, I'm kind of glad that they didn't go with that. But also to an extent, considering that, like, I don't want to, you know, be massively criticizing or anything. But the Persona 5 fanbase can be a little iffy at times, and part of me does wish there were a few more overt jabs at the fanbase with Akane and her shadow, maybe. But, okay. So this is a point where I actually got very confused on my first playthrough and also on my practice run, because we can't get through there. So what you actually have to do here is you have to go up here. Because the decor of this palace is quite dark, it can be easy to miss this.
Beauty in the aesthetic of this place, but I sense little passion from its creators.
There's nothing to make it feel alive.
So it all feels sorta... Get a little something from these, though. Maybe slits with the light coming out of them.
Your computer setup's kind of like this, ain't it?
Oh boy, wow, yeah, my current laptop, I'm actually not recording this on because I'm recording this on my old laptop, which just handles PS4 recording fine. But my current laptop is very much a quote-unquote gaming laptop that has all of these, like, LEDs on it, and, I'm just, like, first thing I did was turn off the default, like, rainbow LEDs and just put them as a solid color, because, like, I just don't, they're a waste of power. Like, it's a waste of electricity. I don't care about my... Like, what gamer honestly cares about their computer having bright, flashing rainbow lights? It just feels like a waste of energy. because to me the only setting that actually made sense for me was the one where the lights change color according to how much how much of your PC's resources you're using. So for example, while I was like editing a video and like rendering it, then the lights would go from green to yellow to red because I was using a lot of processing power, and that would be a great indicator of like when the computer was like when I was maybe taxing the computer too much. But eventually I forgot how to do that setting. I'm not really sure why, but I just sort of did. I haven't tried since, so yeah, I'm not really sure why I forgot that, but yeah. Haven't really used that since, and instead I've just gone with a basic, just a basic, setup, basically. But yeah, I also just thought, like, with what Yusuke just said, it's often a bit of a risk when you're designing an area in, like, a video game or a film to be intentionally, like, in poor taste and badly designed. Because, like, obviously that means that by definition it's not going to look aesthetically pleasing, and that's not great when you're doing something in a visual medium. But I think this works. Like, the whole cyberpunk look, it's unique enough, and it's, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I feel like it's distinct enough from, guess I don't really need regular ZOWIE anymore. It's distinct enough from Okumura's palace that it doesn't feel redundant.
Victory is ours.
I think I'm just gonna skip that last one. Just let's head to the mountain.
There it is, the prison keep.
I see a radio tower, too. That's probably how they're controlling all the surveillance cams. If we can just steal the core, those things will be totally bricked.
Then let's slip inside and steal it.
Not so fast. There are cameras here, too. What are we supposed to do about those?
Shoot them. That's what all good Phantom Thieves do.
And thus, Skull was riddled with holes.
Rest in peace, Skull.
I ain't dead, and I ain't going out there either.
Another rare moment, in fact, they're actually not that rare in Strikers, a moment of Ryuji being the butt of a joke that I actually think is funny.
Straight path isn't always the quickest, right? Let's see if there are any other ways in.
Well, we are the Phantom Thieves after all, as I've said before. Like, what kind of Phantom Thief uses the front door? I have to, though. Sorry, Skull. But okay, yeah, this area is, it's kind of, it's okay. It's not like, you know, the worst thing. Now, I believe at least one of those is a Valkyrie, is like a big Valkyrie. Oh yeah, by the way, that's what happens if you get seen by a crawler. Did you notice that it just jumped up in the air there?
It looks like we can use these to get to the other side.
Oh, hey, high-rise telephone poles. Yeah, it just jumped up in the air.
I should write
They're gonna crash back down if you let them. And, that is not a good time for anybody. Okay, then. We have yet another hacking battle, and then we have the prison keep itself. And if I'm remembering right, I think this prison keep may have a fight in it that is actually kind of brutal. I mean, this feels really awkward. We just got to, like, a prison keep and stuff, but, oh yeah, there was a jumping thing just right there. But, we just reached a checkpoint. I think now I might call it for now, and we will take on this next prison keep and more of Konoe's jail next time.